Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Distinguished guests, we have our wonderful guests from Barcelona, elected officials, our international community of consuls generals are here. So it's an exciting day, and we are very pleased to be joining with another beautiful city, Barcelona, with San Francisco, a beautiful city. It is my pleasure to introduce a person who is very supportive of sister cities. We have 18, as you may know, a person who has visited many of the sister cities, and a mayor, a mayor, yeah, that's right, a mayor who has brokered. This will be the fourth sister city in his administration. So may I introduce the brother to sister cities and the father of four sister cities, our mayor, Mayor Newsom, and not a mother. Right?
Thank you. Thank you, Charlotte. Thank you. Well, thank you all very much for coming out, and thank you to Charlotte and Matthew and the protocol team for all their work and effort to get you here and to host you here on the balcony in beautiful City Hall. And I want to welcome our friends from Spain. Thank you very much for taking the time to be here. Fariba, thank you for your leadership. And Mr. Consul General, thank you for yours and helping us organize this. I want to pay particular note and compliment Supervisor David Campos for his hard work and his tenacity and his commitment to this sister city. He has been talking about this for months, and I want to congratulate him on a job well done in helping organize this and being a good steward of this process as we launch formally this sister city in just a moment. I also want to thank our, where is he? You're here too. Let me acknowledge Supervisor Bevan Dufty before I acknowledge Jose. There's Jose Cisneros, our treasurer, tax collector, for his strong support and leadership on this. We thank all the electeds that are here. I also want to thank all the consul generals that are here and some department heads, Ed Lee, and commissioners that are assembled. As Charlotte said, this is our 18th sister city. Our sister city relationships go back to formally 1957. The idea behind sister cities began when then President Dwight Eisenhower in the 50s recognized that we needed to reconcile that there were a lot of disagreements between nations coming out of World War II, and that the best way to reconcile those disagreements was people-to-people diplomacy. And sometimes countries didn't always get it right, and that people, particularly representing cities, perhaps could. And as a consequence, the Sister City movement really began. Here it began formally with our first sister city in Osaka in 1957. First diplomatic relations between the United States and Japan were then established. We had the privilege and pleasure of being there a couple years back to celebrate that 50th anniversary. And if you walk into that international room, you'll see that their mayor brought, on behalf of the people of Osaka, a large robot celebrating the 50th anniversary and commemorating that anniversary. Since then, as Charlotte had noted, 17 others have been established. This is our latest, number 18. We recently have celebrated some milestones, significant. 30th anniversary of our Shanghai sister city was just celebrated a few weeks back, which was a significant moment in terms of the relationship between, again, not just our two cities, but our two countries. Again, the first formal relations between China and the United States were established through that sister city bond. We had the opportunity recently to go back to Bangalore, or go to Bangalore. It was our first formal trip back there. We actually established a sister region between the Bangalore region and the government of Karnataka, not just the city of Bangalore, and the San Francisco Bay Area. And we had a delegation of leaders throughout the region that went back there. I thought that was a sister city long overdue. The obvious connection to China and obvious connection to Asia and broadly had not incorporated and included India, and I thought that an important relationship. But it brings us here with this 18th signing of a sister city that celebrates the contribution and connection between Spain and the United States, between San Francisco Bay Area and the region around Barcelona. We are blessed to have a lot of similarities in terms of our respective cities, notably commitment to economic empowerment and entrepreneurialism and innovation, well established and formed through biotech, life science, and growing nanotech space, the opportunities to build on green tech, and the commitment and contribution, of course, Spain has made there, and the commitment and contribution we're hoping to advance and have been advancing here. We also are looking at creating a framework around digital media and digital arts, and then extending not just through our cultural exchanges, educational exchanges, and artistic exchanges appropriate, that we would be celebrating and recognizing the artistic contributions of our respective cities and countries. That's what a sister city relationship's all about, and it's about establishing a framework in a formal manner, not just an informal manner, and doing it in a way that transcends those that you see here assembled, and provides a framework, an institutionalized framework that allows people 5, 10, 15, 20, as I said, 30 and 50 years later to also be celebrating and commemorating these moments. And so that's really the spirit of this moment, is the fact that if we are successful 50 years from now, whoever the mayor may be, most likely not yet born, she will be here celebrating that 50th anniversary, and the respective parties. Many of us will be around saying, "I remember when." And so I just want to thank all of you in advance for being good stewards of this. I'll close by saying this. These sister cities, not all 18 are vibrant, not all 18 are robust, not all 18 are contributing as they should, but most are. And we're proud of that. And that's really because of the commitment of the Sister City Committee. And so it's my hope and expectation, and certainly my belief, Maria and others that are here to commit themselves to this one, that this will be a robust and meaningful sister city. I've tried, as Charlotte said, to do only 4 in 6, 7 years. Sometimes mayors do a lot more than that, to temper my desire to do these, because I want to make sure their real commitment is behind them, because there's nothing worse than making false promises on these things. But I got a good sense, not just from Supervisor Campos, that there was a commitment, but from the committee that has been formed in the Consul General. So I have great confidence, great hope and expectation that this will be a very, very successful sister city. So congratulations to everybody, and thank you. And I'll bring Charlotte back, and we'll get on the rest of the program, and we'll affix, as the mayor already has in Barcelona, his signatures. We'll fix our 3 signatures to these to this sister city in just a moment. Thank you all very much for being here.
Thank you, Mayor. You said we were very alike in many ways. How about our soccer? What happened?
I don't want to talk about that.
Okay.
Because I know Campos will.
The Consul General has said that you haven't gotten much work done over there, right? Yes, right. So, well, congratulations. Congratulations. Supervisor, the mayor has said many nice things about you, which are warranted, and you have certainly shepherded us through this process, so it gives me great pleasure to introduce you to bring us along with the program. Supervisor Campos. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Buenos dias. I don't know how to say it in Catalan, so I'll just keep to English and Castilian. But let me say that I have to begin by thanking Mayor Newsom and his staff for all the work that they have done. And I especially appreciate the fact that throughout this process, the mayor has made it clear that if we're going to have a sister city relationship with any city, that it has to be a meaningful relationship, that it can't be in name only. And I think that's really how we should approach these kinds of relationships. In these economic times, it makes sense for cities like San Francisco to reach out to places like Barcelona. And if you look at the history of what has happened between not just the city of Barcelona and San Francisco, but the region of Catalonia in California, this makes a lot of sense. For one thing, in 1986, the state of California actually established a sister state relationship with the region of Catalonia. And I want to thank in particular the organization of Mix de Gaspar de Portola, which is the Friends of Gaspar de Portola. And we have here Ramon Beiget from that organization. Carlos Monteliu, who is the president of that organization, could not be here. But they have been trying to foster relationships between not just San Francisco and Barcelona, but the entire region. The mayor talked about some of the commonalities the economic ties. There are many cultural ties. There's already in the works a relationship between the museums in Barcelona and the De Young. There's already talks between the University of California and the universities in Barcelona. There's talk about the opera in San Francisco sharing production with the opera in Barcelona. There are many things, many examples of that nature. But something that is very special to me as a gay man, and I see my partner Phil Wong in the audience, I want to acknowledge him, is the commitment to civil rights and the very special commitment that Barcelona has played to the LGBT community. Those of you who watched the movie Milk remember that scene where there was talk about how a protest in Barcelona in the days of Franco inspired activists like Harvey Milk here in San Francisco to stand up and say, we are going to be counted, we're going to be treated equally. That connection has been in place for decades. And when I visited Barcelona, I was really impressed by what Harvey Milk means to the LGBT community in Barcelona. And I think that's something that's really special. Spain, Barcelona have had same-sex marriage for a number of years now. And you know what? The world has not come to an end. Those cities are thriving. That region is thriving. It shows you that you can be committed to civil rights, that you can be committed to equality, and that commitment actually translates to something very positive. And I think it makes sense that someone like Mayor Newsom, who has led the way in that front, is now pushing this relationship with a city that has been doing it right for so long. And Mr. Mayor, I do want you to know that in Barcelona, in Spain, many people see you as an icon for what you have done, and that's something that you should be very proud of. And as a gay man, I'm very proud to be here talking about this. Now let me introduce to you someone from Spain, someone who plays a very important role in City Hall in Barcelona. His job is as a counselor of international relations, is to represent the city of Barcelona throughout the world, and he's here today. Ignacio Cardaluz. Ignacio.
Good morning. Buenos días, bon dia. I will say a couple of words in Catalan, of course, at the end of this speech. Dear Mayor, Mr. Newsom, Ilustrísimo Consul General de España en San Francisco, querido amigo David Campos, for me it's a great honor sharing this moment with you. On behalf of the Mayor of Barcelona, Mr. Jordi Hereu, I would like to say that this twinning ceremony is very important and emotional for every citizen in Barcelona. We share a past and some important roots. A Hispanic history that we can see in your misiones. Gaspar de Portolà was a Catalan official that admired San Francisco Bay. He didn't know where he was. He couldn't imagine the wonderful city that you would become later. During the last 2 centuries, Barcelona and San Francisco were considered for being harbors and industrial cities. For many decades, we have been receiving population from many different countries. You are a Western gateway for the United States, and we are the capital for the Mediterranean region. We are both seen to be open cities. For many European citizens, the words of San Francisco or the words of Barcelona means open-minded cities, and this is very important for us. We have many things in common in the past, but also in the present. We know some of your great economic proposals, like Mission Bay, very similar to our high-tech district in Barcelona. But I would like to express our admiration, Mayor Newsom, for your special proposals like Care, Not Cash, or the project with Homeless Connect. Also for your determination to extend health care to everybody. And above all, I hope this ceremony is a commitment for our future relationship. We have many things to share, to compare, to learn together. In our agreement, we mention civil rights, transport policies, infrastructures, high technology, education, arts, and many others. I hope from today we can consolidate new levels of cooperation, to put them in practice, and then to evaluate them. Let me invite the Mayor of San Francisco and all the citizens of San Francisco also to visit Barcelona and Catalonia. I am sure that Barcelona and San Francisco can learn and grow together, and we can establish many other branches of cooperation. Today, it's a great honor for us to be here, and it's a great day for us. Thank you, Mr. Newsom, for your hospitality. Muchas gracias a todos los que han hecho posible este proyecto que ahora empieza. Moltes gràcies a tots. En nom de l'Ajuntament de Barcelona, voldria dir també unes paraules en català. Nosaltres som una ciutat oberta al món, una ciutat que té relacions internacionals amb moltes ciutats. We have another sister city, which is Shanghai, like you, Mr. Mayor. I la voluntat és que aquests siguin projectes de llarga durada. Els polítics, les persones canvien, se'n van, en venen de noves, però el que és més important és que darrere dels projectes de les ciutats hi hagi institucions com els amics de Gaspar de Portolà i també la seva contrapart aquí a San Francisco que permetin que aquest projecte tiri endavant. So, thank you very much to everybody and congratulations, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Ignacio. As Mayor Newsom said, we have here Supervisor Bevan Dufty. I also want to acknowledge that a number of my colleagues on the Board of Supervisors wanted to be here today, but they're actually right now stuck in a committee meeting. But I know that President Chu, Supervisor Mercurimi, Supervisor Avalos wanted to be here as well. Next, I'd like to introduce the man who represents the country of Spain here in San Francisco. And of course, you can't talk about Spain right now without talking about the World Cup. And we're all very excited about that victory. And thank you, Mayor Newsom, to you and the Rec and Park Department for the great work they did around the World Cup. If you had the opportunity to watch the World Cup right in front of City Hall. And it's I have to point out that the man who scored that winning goal is someone who plays for the Barcelona team. So that's something important. So the Consul General of Spain, Mr. Manuel Pradas.
Yeah, I wear red because of the jersey of the Spanish team. You see, when the visitors arrive for the first time to the city of San Francisco, they feel flabbergasted by the beauty of this unique and diverse city that overlooks the San Francisco Bay. If I am told, and many a times I am, I say, no wonder. This is a city founded by Spaniards, and we know how to choose the right place to start building a city. As you know, back in the 17th and 17th centuries, Spanish ships plied the waters of the Pacific Ocean from the most southern tip of South America to the North American west coast and Canada. Together with the ships came along our ideas and language. So it's no surprise that most of the mountains, rivers, and cities in California have a Spanish name. All Spaniards gather here today in the San Francisco City Hall, many from Catalonia and from all other regions of my country, prominent businessmen, professors, technicians, and private citizens, some newly arrived, some living for years in San Francisco and the Bay Area, represent a capital force in which the foundation for fostering better relations between the United States of America and Spain are laid out. The signing of this Memorandum of Understanding between the cities of Barcelona and San Francisco marks the establishment of a new city partnership that aims at creating new links between San Francisco and Barcelona. New path ahead that will allow to widen our economic and trade relations, scientific and technical knowledge, and better understanding for the mutual interest not only of these two cities, but of our countries. Today is the right time to recognize and honor for their effort to build this project the Mayor of the San Francisco City, Mr. Gavin Newsom, and his team, and the Mayor of Barcelona, Mr. Jordi Hereu, and his team, and all institutions and private citizens who help make possible the sisterhood between Barcelona and San Francisco. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Consul General. Next, let me introduce someone who is very important. As Mayor Newsom said, it's not about just establishing the sister city relationship, but also making sure that it's a meaningful one. That cannot happen without the leadership of a very active sister city committee. And the president of that committee is here, Fariba, Rezvani. Fariba, if you can please come forward. She has been working very diligently for the last few months, and we are very excited about the leadership that she will continue to provide. Thank you. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome and thank you for being here. Señoras y señores, benvinguts, moltes gracias por estar aquí avui. Señoras y señores, bienvenidos, gracias por estar aquí. It's an honor to have such key figures here today as we welcome the formal recognition of the sister city relationship between Barcelona and San Francisco. And what better timing than to meld this celebration with Spain's recent victory in the World Cup last week. Going back in history, the Catalan region was home to a great figure very important to our Bay Area history, as you all know, Gaspar de Portola. It was in 1769 that Portola, a Spanish military figure, traveled over 500 miles from Baja California to the Bay Area by ship and mules, finally touching base in the San Francisco Bay after a 10-month journey. While the Catalan explorer looked out over our great vistas, we now turn our sights to the advances in technology and transportation as we forge ahead with our new sister city relation. A committee has been formed that will lead efforts in streamlining our shared communication with our colleagues in Barcelona, and one of our first efforts will be to lead the drive for a direct flight between San Francisco and Barcelona. Transportation will be a key interplay between the two cities, and San Francisco certainly looks forward to learn more about the high-speed train system and sharing the spaceport facilities for future space-related projects in Catalonia. Further information sharing in business and technology in the areas of academia, clean tech, green tech, and biotech will be fostered and developed through these new lines of communication and relationship. San Francisco and Barcelona hold two of the largest gay communities in the world. Our committee will do its utmost effort to bring the two communities together to further their ideas and goals. And last but not least, the committee will play a significant role in the cultural and gastronomy exchanges between the opera, symphony, art collections, and amazing foods and wines of both regions. These two cities have much enthusiasm and interest in building further bridges. We are thrilled to carry on with many exciting endeavors, and on behalf of our co-chair, Maria Andrews, and the committee, I would like to thank Mayor's offices of Barcelona and San Francisco. Special thanks to Supervisor David Campos and his team for their leadership. Amix, the Gaspar de Portola Foundation for their tireless efforts, Chamber of Commerce of Barcelona, and Casal Català. One last thing. My mother, God bless her soul, passed away 2 months ago, and I had to leave my father in Iran, my original country, in ICU to attend this event. But knowing my parents, they would have wanted me to be here doing something I strongly believe in. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, Fariba. It is now my honor to simply announce that the Memorandum of Understanding between the City of San Francisco and Barcelona will now be signed by Mayor Gavin Newsom.
Come on, everybody. Come on back here. To both sides. Both sides. We'll smile for a picture. All right.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank all of you for the leadership that made all this happen today. We'd like for you to stay and enjoy. As you know, we have some Spanish sparkling champagne wine. Is that right? From Spain. Yes. Okay. What's that do to your business? Bring you wine in there. Yes. We have a present here.
Very good. Thank you. Oh wow, I like it. That's great, actually. I like this. This is good. Yeah. It's simple. I like it. That's great. We should do an SF. This is kind of nice. Yeah, exactly. It's like a knuckle. I like it. Yeah.
Special wine with the City of Barcelona.
And actually, the city makes it.
Yes. We have a vineyard outside Barcelona.
Wow.
Only for
Yeah. Nice. Oh, that's great. We should have the city should have its own wine. Well, we have mine. I know, but that's a version. That's great. I like it. Thank you. And this, on behalf of all of us.
Lift it up.
Speaking, singing. Yeah.
I left my heart.
I left my heart in San Francisco. The music. That's good. We thought it was cute.
Thank you all so very much for being here, and please stay with us and enjoy the rest of the morning. Take the rest of the day off. Is that right, Mayor? Thank you.